We are less than 24 hours away from the release of the final Black Ops 6 Zombies map, The Reckoning, and I just got off a creator call with Treyarch about Season 5. I have some very exciting details to talk about in this video regarding questions to do with the Super Easter Egg, the main quest, side Easter eggs, and a hint at a unique side Easter egg reward similar to the golden armor from the tomb. Very exciting stuff to go into here, so let's just jump straight in. But if you're excited for this new map and you enjoy this video, please drop a thumbs up and support it. It allows as many people as possible to see this video and get all these details before the map drops tomorrow. If you need a reminder on when it's dropping, it is dropping tomorrow at these times on your screen right now. So depending on what time zone you're in the world, be sure to be locked in and ready because I'll be streaming the Easter egg hunt live on the channel, bringing you all of the guides and content that you know and love here for the Reckoning map. Jumping straight in, kicking off the creator call, we had Kevin Drew, who briefly went through the narrative setup for the map. And I'll just briefly go over what he mentioned in case you aren't up to date with the storyline going into this map. So the crew and director Richtofen will infiltrate Janus Towers to confront SAM after the events of Shattered Veil. The goal is to reach SAM before she can achieve her quest for ultimate power. The atmosphere of the map is going to be pretty intense as the ether reactors are about to blow as the towers go up in flames. Kevin finalized the map and narrative setup by saying that this map is jam-packed with content, lots of Easter eggs, and he thinks that there will be some twists and turns here that we have never seen before. Very exciting baseline for the information that we got a little later in the creator call. And that was when we got to the Q&A section where we could ask the developers any question that we wanted within reason related to the upcoming map. I went in all guns blazing, bringing out a big question because they obviously mentioned in the call about there being a lot of side Easter eggs. I asked if they could compare the Reckoning to any previous Black Ops 6 map in terms of the amount of side Easter egg content. Is it similar to Terminus in terms of having a ridiculous amount? Could it even be more side Easter egg content than Terminus? And the map that they compared it to was Citadel Daymore, meaning that this map is the most comparable to Citadel in terms of the amount of side Easter egg content that will be available. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to have the exact same amount of side Easter eggs as Citadel Daymore, which I believe was around 20 plus side Easter eggs that included a multitude of things such as free perks, the Chest Knight Easter egg, the water butt, the crown. But I think in terms of it being compared to Citadel in terms of side Easter eggs, I think that is a pretty good thing. My only concern is that some of the side Easter eggs on Citadel weren't overly useful and not things that you would repeat and redo every game. However, I'm still very happy that we're getting a good sizable amount of them here in this map. I think you guys are really going to like what I'm about to talk about, but Chopper asked a really great question about if there are any side Easter egg rewards on the Reckoning that are exclusively only on that map. So he wasn't asking if there was like a free perk quest that is unique in how you do that quest, but the actual reward, the thing you get at the end of the side Easter egg, because I think that's something really important and something that we may not have seen too many of within the previous maps. And the example he gave was golden armor on the tomb. Obviously, we expected they might reiterate on that in Shattered Veil with something else. Obviously, that didn't happen, but in this map, it sounds like it is going to happen because the answer that Kevin gave is that there is at least one exclusive side Easter egg reward that gives you something unique only to the Reckoning, something that we haven't been given before on any other maps. If that is referring to something in the same vein as the golden armor, as an example, the ether blade from Modern Warfare Zombies, if that could return, that would be an amazing reward, something that we've all been requesting for ages now. I don't know if it's going to be something in the same vein as that, but at the very least, there is at least one that gives you something unique. So the wording as well of at least one makes it sound like there could be more than one. So that also sounds very, very promising, but we're just going to have to wait and see exactly what they mean on that when we get our hands on the map very, very soon. As a passing comment in referring to the unique side Easter egg reward, Kevin also said that the Wonder Weapon quest itself is pretty packed. And he didn't mean that as in like it's pack-a-punched, more that there is a lot of stuff required in order to get the Wonder Weapon. So that sounds really exciting. And obviously we'll know exactly what he means by that very soon when we get our hands on the map. Now, another Zombies YouTuber from the Middle East, Bashark, big shout out to him, asked a pretty cheeky question, if I do say so myself, which was on the topic of spawn locations and the number of them for an Easter egg quest item. I think it's a pretty good question, but of course, Treyarch can't give any spoilers away with that, so their response was that they couldn't answer that or give anything away. But BO6's question was actually pretty relevant because he asked, is there going to be 3 spawns for an item like in traditional zombies, or is an example like the bomb from the Shattered Veil quest in order to open up the secret cave that had about 10 to 12 different spawn locations? He was asking, is there going to be something similar in that number, or is it going to be a little bit less and a little bit more logical? They said they couldn't give an answer or give anything away, but what they did say is that they want to extend the length of the Easter egg hunt with this map. So with that sort of comment, that makes me feel like there may be some steps in place that might be a little bit more difficult to solve than what we've seen in previous maps, where once it is finally figured out, it's going to be very easy to replicate, but the logic behind it might be a little bit more complicated than something we've seen before, which in their eyes will extend the length of the hunt. And last time we really saw something like this was in Revelations with the bones and rocks that you had to shoot all the way out the map in various points. We've made comments several times at Treyarch events that we never want to see that again, but at the same time, that did add some nice elongation to the Easter egg hunts. And whilst Treyarch do see that as a way to extend the hunt, they also think that that is just way too extreme of a way to extend it, and they are never going to do anything as extreme as that again. So no Revelations rocks, thankfully. But now, what you've probably all been waiting for, seeing half of the thumbnail and title of this video, is the topic of Super Easter Egg. I got to ask the final question in the creator call, and of course, I had to ask about the Super Easter Egg. I worded it to say that over the last few months, whilst waiting for this final map, there's been a lot of discussion about the idea of a Super Easter Egg once this final map comes out. Can they give any answer or confirmation that there is a Super Easter Egg? And the answer that I got was simply the words, no comment. Now, that isn't a yes, but that isn't a no either. They simply said they cannot comment on that. So make of that what you will, guys. But what they did say after that is that they are very excited to see players complete the main quest of the map when it comes out tomorrow. But they did also say that once we complete the main quest, it will give a good indication of what's happening next. With wording like that, it seems obvious that that is hinting towards what we're going to be getting within Black Ops 7 Zombies, and how this ending is really going to set the stage for what we're going to expect. But make of that answer what you will, guys. From what Kevin said there, do you believe that there will be a Super Easter egg once we beat this map? Because with wording of no comment, to me, that is not a no. And if there wasn't one, I think they wouldn't want to set expectations by then saying no comment if there wasn't one. But I've seen a lot of discussion about the idea of Super Easter egg lately. We've spoken about it on the channel months ago at the idea of potential rewards, but I've also seen people more recently talking about the potential idea of a Super Easter egg coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies. But like what we saw with Cold War, is something that would come a little bit later in the game's life, once we've beaten all the map's Easter eggs and there's time for other players to complete all those Easter eggs. And in a way, I wouldn't want them to do this, but I could see them saving the Super Easter egg and adding it in later, such as Season 5 Reloaded or even Season 6, as something that adds extra content to Zombies once we have the map drop, because there won't be anything substantial coming to Zombies at all once this map drops tomorrow, and we're in August, and there's at least another 2 months of the game's life, if not 3 months, before Black Ops 7 comes out. So we're just gonna have to see on that. Unfortunately, that is all we got to ask zombie question wise in the Q&A at the end of the creator call. These creator calls likely have 100 to 200 creators in. Based on the other questions that were asked, it seems it's mainly Warzone players in there. There's not a ton of Zombies players in there. I'm really thankful that I managed to get those questions answered, as well as Chop and BO6 asking great Zombies questions as well, so we can share all of this with the community. Let me know all your thoughts about what we've discussed today. And like I mentioned, the map comes out tomorrow. It's going to be a crazy day, and I hope I can see you live here on the stream where we hunt and beat the Easter egg. Make sure you got the notifications turned on. It's going to be insane.